Today we encounter a rather familiar and controversial issue that consists of our U.S. government and internet wiretapping access. This issue has been ongoing for a few years and has now spread worldwide. After conducting research, all fingers point that wiretapping shouldn't be allowed. Since about 2010, the government has been trying to implement laws and regulations that gives them direct access to an array of information. This would make sense if it were to be used properly. For instance, an example of proper usage would be if the government needed to obtain more information on a lead of a possible terrorist. Back in 2011, Obama had intended to unveil a bill which allowed easy eavesdropping access to our internet communications. This bill was going to require communication services to encrypt messages and technically be able to unscramble them. Also, this bill was requiring developers of softwares to enable person-to-person communication to redesign services to permit interception. One issue that arises with the government and internet wiretapping is that it gives them ability to look into personal aspects of our lives. For example, access to our social media accounts, emails, and instant messaging. Social media is something used worldwide by almost everyone, including myself. It is mainly used to share and document events throughout our lives with family and friends. With that being said, the most controversial issue here is invasion of our privacy. The majority of us, if not all of us, constantly communicate with friends and family through emails or instant messaging. Why should the government have automatic access to the information we share with others? What's the point of even having our right to privacy as an American? Another rather concerning problem with internet wiretapping is that if law enforcement individuals wanted to, they could use their power for the wrong purposes, such as celebrity gossip or even celebrity exposure like it has previously occurred in the past. Aside from some of the obvious points mentioned, surprisingly, internet wiretapping greatly affects companies who are targeted. With the implementation of laws and bills, some companies are being asked to begin by redesigning their entire structure. Needless to say that these are drastic, unfair changes to these companies. As companies begin to restructure to the government's likings, expenses seem to often skyrocket, leading to a less favorable profit. Selected companies are now suffering a decrease in income due to the simple fact that the government believes it is okay to be able to wiretap us whenever. With internet wiretapping, developers obviously need to change the backdoors to programs so that government officials can access them easier. This also means that all those hackers out there will also have easier ways of getting into our emails and personal accounts. This makes us very vulnerable and no good may come from this. As the government makes changes, these experienced hackers gain easier access. We are now at danger of identity theft, something that is already commonly seen in the United States. Many use the internet for personal matters as well as storing of personal account information. This alone should be enough of a reason to not allow the government to wiretap the internet and give them access to our information. As Americans, we live for the privilege of having all the rights we're supposed to hold, meaning we also reserve the right to stand against something if it's affecting any of our rights. We should have our right to privacy, or at least shouldn't be placed in a dangerous situation, making us susceptible to things such as identity theft and more. In conclusion, internet wiretapping shouldn't be permitted as we, the people of America, are being faced with too many negative possibilities while nothing directly affects the government.